Hello, Mr. Hunt. Hello, Mr. Hunt.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock, and if you would all please rise, we'll call to order, and I'd like the record to reflect that all the members of the court are present. And we have the opening prayer by Reverend M.H. Schubert, United Pentecostal Church down in Huntington. And if you would, please all bow your heads.
Gracious Lord, we come to you with hearts that are so thankful for every blessing that you give us. On behalf of this meeting today, let everything that's done, every step that's taken, be ordered by you in your perfect will. Let your spirit, Lord, in your hand be upon each individual official, we pray. Guide us in the perfect and the divine will of God for your glory, and in your name, Lord Jesus, we ask these things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Reverend. And if you would, please follow Commissioner Cheshire as we honor the flag of the United States.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And remain standing as we follow Commissioner Harrison at the pledge to the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. Be seated. All right, at this time, we'll open up the public forum for anybody that wants to speak to any of the items that we have on the agenda. Been a wet day, and we may not have anybody here to speak to any of these items right now. All right, if there's none to speak to any of these items, we'll close the public forum and move on to number 5, discussion action on minutes for December 23rd, 2019, Commissioners Court.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Commissioners. Item number 6, discussion action on renewing a contract between Angelina County and Avenue Insights and Analytics for information technology products and services for the Angelina County Clerk's Office for 1 year.
This is a contract that is just extending it. I had a 5-year contract, which ends February 24th. And so this is just extending it for 1 year. And it's the system that, where we file the real property record.
It's something y'all need. Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 7, parents of Rodney Cheshire, Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4, to discuss utilizing the Diboll Justice of the Peace Courthouse as a satellite office for the employees of the Nacogdoches District Parole Office. Judge Cheshire came to me this morning and said that the Nacogdoches District Parole Office has rescinded their offer to come down to Diboll. So at this point, we just need to take this off of the agenda. Need a motion to.
Motion table.
Motion. Well, it's actually not tabled. We're just doing away with it.
Motion to
completely.
dismiss.
Okay. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, item number 8, discussion action on speed bumps in the Idlewood subdivision on Highway 69 North in Precinct 1.
I make a motion that we do not entertain to start putting speed bumps on any county road.
Who requested?
It was requested by one of the homeowners,
Let me tell
individuals
them
in
what's
Idlewood.
happening out there.
Please.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and tell you what's happening out
Go ahead and address it, please.
The homeowner association of Idlewood contacted me, was wanting to try to do speed bumps. And I said, well, we've never done speed bumps. Well, the city has a few here in town, and anyhow, they said, and I told them, all I can get you to do is come see us at the court. And, it's up to the court whether we even entertain the idea or not, you know what I mean? But I thought it was my due diligence, at least let them come and talk to us and that kind of stuff. And
since I've been in office for 5 years, I've never entertained a speed bump because I've always thought it was something that we couldn't do.
Well, according to Bob Bass from TAC, lead counsel, he recommends that we don't do it.
Okay, I mean, and that's fine. I'm just, but I did want to give them a chance to come see us and
Was anybody here?
No, he's not here today. so-
Nobody's here from Iowa?
So, but anyhow, that's what was going on there, guys. So y'all can, it's up to y'all's, whatever y'all want to do.
Okay,
Motion.
we have a motion and
Motion to reject. A second.
a second to not entertain going forward with the speed bumps in Idlewood subdivision. Any further discussion?
I would like to add that I made some calls to TxDOT because they have to approve them even if we decide. to.
Exactly.
And they said that it just almost don't happen.
You gotta have a traffic study done out
Yeah.
there. That would cost the county $250,000, for just a traffic study, and then in turn, that doesn't mean that they'll recommend speed bumps.
Yeah, they said the pitfalls was way outweighed the benefits of it.
Okay.
So they just don't hardly see it happening to
Okay.
even approve it, so.
All right.
Just thought I'd add that.
And that $250,000 would come out of your budget, Greg.
Yeah, no doubt. That'd be all I got for roads, so I'm done, so.
Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion? All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item number 9, appearance of Billy Page, tax assessor collector, to discuss and make a decision to set a county policy on that this county does not allow full-service deputies for auto registration and titling purposes to operate in Angelina County. That is a lot of words. Welcome, Billy.
Is it really?
is.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and thank you for having me. What I'm trying to do is a little preventive medicine is all. First of all, I want to say there are legitimate full-service deputies in the state of Texas. They are more necessary in the larger counties because obviously you hear the stories and they have long wait times and people can go and pay someone to do that work for them. And they're not only legitimate, they're necessary in the larger counties. And what a full-service deputy does is they do the paperwork for titling and they register vehicles, get vehicles registered, and they charge a fee for that. And we do that for free. We help you get that paperwork done. Plus, you could do it for yourself for free. And so I don't think Angelina County has a need for one of these full-service deputies. Legitimately, they would have to contract with me, and I would be responsible for the work they do. I would like to avoid that. If they're not working in my office, I would, prefer, but that's just a preference. That's, I'm just telling you how I feel about that. The other thing was, in every major fraud case around the state, that there was a fraud ring in vehicles, title fraud, that kind of thing. There were full-service deputies involved. So in our discussions at the Tax Assessor Collectors Association of Texas, at our conferences and on our listserv, the discussion is the best way to ward it off in your county is to have a county policy. Yes, I could turn people down, but as Tammy McRae, Montgomery County Tax Assessor Collector, can tell you, that she turned someone down and they proceeded to sue. So so the discussion was, and we do, the association does, we not only have TAC as a contact, but we also have an attorney that watches over our affairs and advises us. And according to him and the association is that we should get a policy, just a county policy in place so that won't be allowed. In the event that Angelina County grows large enough that maybe that would be a viable service, you can always change it. I just want to see if we can get a policy in place. And let's see. Let me think a minute. It flew right out of my head.
Yeah, Billy, aren't these deputies normally in the big dealerships? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was thinking that these deputies are normally, you know, they're hired by the dealerships, you know, to take care of the processing and everything, but,
They have title clerks, yes, but they're not full-service deputies.
Right.
They do nothing without our approval. They do have dealer
no,
deputies.
I'm saying that's the way it is now, but
Yes.
if we were to approve this, that's normally where the people go. They're normally in the dealerships.
Right, now the dealerships will continue to do what they're doing. I'm not trying to ban them or their operations.
Right.
The other thing that I'd wanted to say was, there are people in town, in this county, who already operate as deputies. They charge people to do their paperwork. They haven't come to me to get approved or, you know, for me to sign them on or whatever. We have no contracts with any of them. And honestly, most of it is the language barrier. The majority of them serve the Hispanic community because they, you know, fill out paperwork that they may not know how to do on their own. But then again, they can come to our tax office and we will help them with it.
You bet.
So that's all I was wanting to do, is just take a little preventive dose and see if we could just avoid this problem in our future.
Do you have a policy drawn up? that you
No, I do not.
You want to get with Doug and
Okay,
Durham
so,
and
okay,
draw that up? Is that, Janice, is that proper?
Maybe the county attorney.
Or county attorney?
County attorney would
Would
be
it be
the
a
one.
resolution? We need to,
But that's, we could go ahead as far as, you know, adopt a policy not to allow full-service deputies for auto registration and titling purposes to operate in Angelina County. I don't think that you need a resolution or anything. As far as I know, could we not, Counselor?
I think you could adopt it, Judge. You could prepare an order for the court to sign afterwards that reflect what it is being worked.
If we went ahead and approved it now, could it be signed then just to expedite, or do we need to wait until the order is ready?
No, sir, I can prepare an order to reflect what the court order should be.
Okay.
So moved.
All right.
second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor then, to not allow full-service deputies to operate in Angelina County. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Bill. All right, item number 10, discussion action on approval of a personnel policy manual rewrite and update committee consisting of Roy Owens, Amy Fincher, Nick Gardner, Doug Durham, Commissioner Terry Pitts, Commissioner Bobby Cheshire, Debbie Turner, Kerry Kirby, and Ricky Connor. The personnel policy manual has needed to be revisited for a number of years, and we're going to do a complete rewrite and update. Since then, we've had an attorney general opinion come out that Mr. Durham has brought, the internal auditor has brought to my attention, that it questions the commissioners being on it. Both commissioners, I have no feelings one way or another, but he says that if the commissioners are in the position to make a decision, they need to be not in the manual policy rewrite thing, because we're eventually the whole policy is going to come to the commissioners court for approval anyway. So it's entirely up to the court to decide to approve the committee the way the court sees to do it. It's up to y'all.
Judge, I've received an email of this policy. Isn't it pretty much already revised for review now?
You talking about the actual rewrite has been
The
done?
one Doug and Janice and all of us worked on for months and months.
Yes.
I mean, isn't it pretty much,
It's ready for a committee to go through it with a fine tooth comb and say, okay, we need to adjust this, we need to make this work for our county, or, you know, we don't want this, we need to make it work for the county. What we did, what Doug has done, we've taken the sample from TAC, we've taken our current policy, we've taken the state laws, federal laws, and we've tried to incorporate all of that, but there are things that still need to be tweaked. So that's the purpose of the committee, is to get together and say, okay, well, we need to look at this, we need to expand on this, or no, we don't need this, and that sort of thing.
Plus, before we started this program, I sent a memo out to all of the commissioners and all the department heads and everything for input, and we've taken all of that input and put into this, hopefully trying to get everything, and I'm sure that there's already been some other things that I would like to see this added, and some other things too, some other changes. So I'm sure we're gonna miss something, but hopefully it will go on.
Well, that's kind of where I was kind of going with that. Instead of a committee, I hate committees, especially if I can't be on it and vote. I mean, that's telling me that I can't never be on nothing that we're gonna vote on in here. The insurance committee or whatever, that I'm on a bunch of.
Health committee.
But, that being said, I was thinking of taking a shortcut. Can we send the policy that you've already got, that I've went over myself, to the elected officials or department heads, and just let them put their input in and do it that way?
Give it back to Doug and let him review
Give it back to Doug. I know we got the legal stuff that's gotta be done, so all that's not questionable.
Carrie, what is your take on the opinion that, because I think Doug sent that to you also as far as that Attorney General opinion. I mean, is it, I mean, I know it's questionable,
You're speaking of whether it's a.
whether the both commissioners
Subject to Open
can,
Meetings Act?
yes, whether both commissioners can serve on that committee and it not be subject to the open meetings.
I mean, the fact of whether a commissioner serves on a committee, I mean, it could be a factor in determining whether the committee is considered a governmental body for the Open
Right.
Meetings Act. It's not determinative. There's no prohibition against having a commissioner on there. And I guess the more you have, maybe the more that weighs in favor of it being subject to the Open Meetings Act. The issue really is whether they're passing policy that's going to be binding on the county, or adopting policies.
And they're not.
It's, I don't know if there's a black and white answer to the question, but the committee may be subject to the Open Meetings Act, and we can look at that issue. But the fact, I don't think there's a prohibition necessarily against the commissioner serving on the committee, and that's not completely determinative of whether it's subject to the Open Meetings Act, but it could be a factor.
We have a meeting when we had to have a court of record, a clerk to record minutes.
Well, if it's subject to the act, it would have to comply with the Open Meetings Act, where you would have to post notices of the meeting and open it to the public, yes.
And it's not that I have a problem not being on committee. It's
Right.
not that. I'm just trying to take a shortcut.
The
I mean,
first meeting, we're not taking any time to do this, because the first meeting, if we approve this committee, the first meeting is gonna meet tomorrow, and it's gonna be more of an organizational meeting, and make sure that everybody has a complete rewrite of the policy as it is right now, to reflect on it, and then let the committee actually set the next date to get together and see if there's any, and it will give it an opportunity to get out amongst the county and see if there's any issues there that, and I'm sure there will be some things that come up, but the committee is a good idea, I think. Still has to come through us for the final approval.
Right.
What you want to do?
No, I'm fine, whatever the court wants to do with it. I was just kind of trying to take a shortcut and just send it to the elected officials. Because I've actually went through it page for page and highlighted stuff that I want to address. So, but I mean, I can easily hand it to somebody that's on the committee. That ain't a problem.
That's what I say, and I'm sure that's gonna be the way it's handled. And then the committee can actually do the rewrite, which takes it away from the court temporarily and let them do their thing.
Yeah.
All right. I'd entertain a motion to go ahead and approve the committee then without the two commissioners on it, if y'all are so inclined.
I'm not.
Okay.
Just to make sure
Sure.
that I was clear, Judge, I don't think there's a prohibition against the commissioner serving on the committee.
No.
But, I mean, however the court wants to go on that issue, but,
You bet. We just we may need to, if there is a question about it, then it's got to fall under the Open Meetings Act.
I'm not worried about what we discuss being subject to Open Meetings Act, because I don't intend to do anything that is against the public interest anyway. You know, if somebody wants a copy of it, I'm gonna give it to them.
Sure.
You know, so, you know, with us serving on the committee, you know, if somebody wants to know what we're doing, KTRE can sit in on the meeting, I don't care,
Right.
you know, there's nothing secret.
All right. What do you want to do about the committee? That's what we're discussing now.
Well, I got one of two options, either put Doug Durham in charge of the policy manual, or put the committee together as proposed. How do y'all feel?
All right. Commissioners?
I could go with that, having both commissioners on there.
I make a
sorry.
motion to approve, committee as proposed.
I make a motion to approve as it's written here,
As
as it's written on this paper right here.
with both the commissioners on?
Second.
Okay. Then we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Now, the first meeting is scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30 in the judge's conference room.
Commissioner's office.
In the, Commissioner in the judge's office there.
1:30?
1:30 tomorrow on the 15th. All right. Item number 11, discussion action on approval of the landfill proposed rate increase committee consisting of County Judge Don Limberry, Commissioner Terry Pitts, County Attorney Kerry Kirby, and Landfill Manager Chuck Brooks with Pam Strickland. Gentlemen,
Another committee?
another committee. The reason this came up because the question came out about whether or not we could just assign committees without bringing it before the public, and that's the reason why we're doing it in Commissioners Court, so everybody will know right up front that it's been discussed, and the committees are being approved by the Commissioners Court. It's a little different than what has been done in the past, but when the question came as to whether or not we could assign a committee without it coming to Commissioners Court, the easiest way is just go ahead and bring it out to Commissioners Court and discuss it.
The last time it was discussed, there was a committee, but it wasn't approved by the board. It was
Right.
James Strickland.
If you would, Chuck, please come forward. You're gonna need to be up here for the next 14 items anyway.
Yeah. Yes, sir. The last time it was discussed, Pam Strickland, Chris Fitzgerald, and the county judge was on the committee.
Right.
From what I understand, back in 2000 and,
Been a while back.
been a while back, 6, 7.
Okay.
But this,
All right.
I'll go ahead.
Well, we do have a proposal for, the proposed rate increases are needed. And, there's a lot of things to be discussed, and we need to go ahead and get a committee together and get this thing, finished one way or another.
I'm kind of like Mr. Pitts, I'm not in favor of a committee. I'd like to see this court leave Mr. Brooks in charge of the landfill, because he is the landfill manager, make recommendations to this court based on his experience and knowledge of what we need out there, and bring it to this court, let this court make the decision on what Mr. Brooks recommends, and go from there. If he recommends a rate increase, then we're gonna increase rates. If he recommends a rate decrease, we're gonna decrease rates. I think he's put a lot of research into surrounding landfills and what everybody else is being charged for their rates. He's got a good long-term perspective of what goes on, and I'm gonna put it in the form of a motion that we leave the rate increases up to Mr. Brooks to bring it to this court to make a recommendation on rate increases or
Yes.
decreases or whatever current rates we have.
The purpose of the committee
Yeah.
would be for price increase or negotiating contracts, which Kerry Kirby would need, we'd need other people if the county agrees to enter into a contract with the city of Lufkin or anybody else. Y'all giving me the authority to negotiate any contract
I would. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
without legal counsel? Nobody
Well,
else.
with legal counsel, yeah, absolutely.
Well,
You don't
you're
do-
starting a committee
we
anytime
don't do
you-
any contracts without legal counsel.
Well-
But yeah, but we're over committee, we're committeeing ourselves to death. They're just,
We got
we
two-
didn't have a committee for.
We just got two committees
I
that we're
understand,
talking
no,
about.
we've got a bunch of committees here in
Mr.
Angelina
Brooks.
County. We didn't have a committee when they changed the rates at, Castle Borky Park for, the use of the boat ramps or anything like that. This is basically the same thing, except on a larger scale. We left it up to the department head who, came in and said, we need to change rates out there, and we changed the rates.
And the only reason we need a committee is if we negotiated contracts.
Well, are we negotiating the contract?
With the city of Lufkin.
Are we negotiating the contract with the city of Lufkin?
Not currently, no.
Then we don't need a committee.
All right.
Are you comfortable with doing it that way, seeking counselors' advice if you did have
Well, if
to
it's more than just me, it would be a committee.
do what?
If it's more than just me going, it would be a committee.
Yeah, I'm just saying for you to do all the negotiating, if you gotta negotiate a contract with Kerry Kirby, and then bring it to court.
I think, in my opinion, it'd be better to have a committee, but
Well,
that's my opinion, but I wasn't asked for it.
Nobody asked me for mine either, but I gave it.
We've had a little history. We've had a proposal from the city to renegotiate the rates and been in the process of trying to get these things renegotiated with a new contract. Chuck and I and Counselor Kirby and I have all been working on it. We're trying to get something worked out. We're just wanting to make sure that there is not a problem. And that's the reason why the committee was recommended. I think that we definitely need a committee. We're already working on it. We just need to finish our discussion.
We're
Think
negotiating
about
the
when you-
contract now?
When you negotiate with the city of Lufkin or whoever, there's a county attorney there, the assistant city manager, there's several people in me, is what you're asking.
You would feel better having somebody there with you, like,
Well,
Well, the county judge is gonna be there. Yeah.
But we've been negotiating the contract already?
Been talking to them,
been talking to him about a contract, but
trying to work out a solution.
last commissioner's court, everything was kinda just shut off. I don't think you were present, the last commissioner's court. The question on the table was get out of the contract we're currently in, renegotiate another one, or get out of the contract we're in, set the rates, and so be it.
I like that proposal.
Well, that's what we gotta figure out what we're gonna do.
But if you're gonna do a committee, I'm gonna recuse myself from it, since I'm gonna have to vote on it.
Okay.
That would mean the county judge have to recuse himself too. You're gonna set that precedent.
It's up to y'all, whatever you wanna do.
How many people did you say was on the committee last time?
3,
Three? The judge,
county judge,
you?
department head, and Pam Strickland were that's the only ones I know that were there now. County attorney, I'm assuming the county attorney was there, but he wasn't the county attorney at the time.
Last contract we had was back in.
6,
It's
7,
it's out of date.
yes, no, it's still current.
It's been
I mean, yeah,
11
but it's-
years.
The
needs to
people
be-
that are, the people that were there,
Yeah.
the only one that'd be there would Pam Strickland's still with us.
Yeah, it's been 11 years since the last contract, and
It needs to be revised, revisited, yes.
All right. Can we make a motion to approve with the, Commissioner Pitts recusing himself?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I just did then.
All right, so
Second.
we had a motion already,
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
but for lack of a second,
Oh,
we
it
never
died.
got a second.
Yeah.
That was
It died for
finished.
lack of a
All
second.
right, so now we've got a,
Well, let me go ahead and state it again then. Is that already died, guys?
that.
I'll
that
make a
one has
motion
died.
that we approve, the committee for the landfill with Commissioner Pitts recusing himself.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second on the floor with the standing members proposed on the committee of County Judge Don Limberry, County Attorney Kerry Kirby, Landfill Manager Chuck Briggs, and Pam Strickland, and taking Commissioner Terry Pitts off of the committee. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item number 12, discussion action on a request from Angelina County Waste Management on a correction to the 2020 budget line item 0880-180-4307 gasoline and oil. The amount requested was $200,000. Janice?
We lost to 0.
And you only got 20, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my mistake, typo. So, yes, we need to amend his budget back to the requested amount of 200,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item number 13, appearance of Chuck Brooks, Angelina County Landfill Manager, requesting an easement be given to Encore for electricity running to the new sectors, J1 and K1. Chuck?
It's just, easement for Encore to put our new electric poles up, headed north down our current easement. They're just tying on to the existing three-phase. That's where our current easement stops. They're picking up a new easement for 5 poles to the north and then moving over into track 2. They'll currently just set them to J and K because we don't have anything else done, but as soon as we get our lift station, or new leachate pond underway, as soon as they get started on it, they'll continue the poles on down with single phase. Now, this is all for just single phase power. And they'll have to come back and start at the bottom of the page area where the 3-phase stops.
Right.
And they won't go ahead and put 3-phase in until we have something there that'll power 3-phase.
Are you good with the poles and all that? Everything gonna be out of your way?
It's already done.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just that when they were in motion, I mean, it's one of those half tube, yes, but everywhere they come out there, I believe 5 times now.
Uh-huh.
And we walked around and put stakes where the poles were low. We built everything up, leveled it off,
Okay.
so all their poles be the same length, poles being the same height in the air. And they already come out and set the poles by their stakes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
But they just need an easement, which they
Yeah.
currently have an easement all the way around the landfill anyway,
Right.
but
With the judge's signature.
Motion to approve with the judge's signature.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Hold on just a second, Chuck. This right here's got to have a notary signature, so we'll have to sign it up in the judge's office.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, thank you.
thank you.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item number 14, discussion action on DP's Council of Governments wanting to donate a refrigerator and some assorted office furniture. Good morning, sir.
Morning to y'all. I've got 6 copies of that.
Bright, beautiful day out front. All right.
First of all, I'd like to thank you for allowing us to use a couple of offices in the Denman building from the time that we sold our old building downtown until recently when we were able to move into our new building. We really appreciate it. Those offices were occupied by a couple of ladies that work in our STAR program, which is an at-risk youth program, and so it's a very important program, and it served a lot of youth here in Angelina County and also around the region. So thank you very much for that. We have now moved out. We have in those offices some assorted furniture, and there's a refrigerator. You have a break room that's a couple of doors down from the offices we used, and our Star folks in the old building had a nice Frigidaire stainless steel refrigerator, so we brought that with us for the convenience of all the Angelina County staff, and we don't need any of this stuff in the new building, so we're offering to donate it to the county. I will say this, I joked with Judge Lindbergh because the refrigerator is really a nice refrigerator. The furniture it's furniture. We used it, it's very functional. It's nothing high dollar or, posh or anything like that. And I did joke with the judge that the stipulations are if you want the fridge, you gotta take the furniture. But I was just joking. I liked it. So seriously, if there's anything left in those offices that you do not want, if you will let us know, we'll make arrangements to come get them out. We don't have any use for them or really any room for them at the present time. And in addition to the refrigerator, there are 4 desks. One of them has a credenza that sits on top of it. There's one just nice standalone table. There are 2 computer workstations. There is 1 5-drawer legal metal file cabinet, and there's a 6-foot-tall bookcase. And again, we appreciate the use of those offices. We're happy to give any or all of these items to the county that you wish to accept.
I'd like to mention also, Lonnie, that we're really, really proud of your new building out there. That is gorgeous, and congratulations on getting that thing finished and getting moved into it. Welcome to Angelina County.
We are proud to be here, and if any of you that haven't had a chance, give me a holler, come out, and I'll give you the. For some people, we give a nickel tour, but for you guys, it's a 25-cent.
Outstanding.
Motion to approve donated items from Dick Cobb. Thank you,
All right,
Mr. Hunt.
We do have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Lonnie. All right, item number 15. Appearance of Jill Brewer, County Treasurer, to present the investment portion of the monthly treasurer's report for the
Thank you,
month
Lonnie.
ending December 2019. Money, money, money.
Money, it's our favorite thing, isn't it? Well,
What's
it's
your
not our
goal
favorite thing,
What's
but
your
it,
goal for this year? I'm not even gonna let you get started and introduce yourself. Last year, you set a goal for 600,000. We almost did it.
we did it.
We did do it.
We
Well,
did it.
congratulations, that's
Well,
awesome.
thank you. I didn't
What's
do
your
it by
goal
my,
for this year?
I didn't do it by myself.
I know you didn't. know
I
you
didn't
got a
do
full
it. You
office
guys
staff.
approved some important things, and that helped us along. I don't have a goal for this year yet. I'm sad about the interest rate.
I understand.
I'm almost depressed about it. Almost.
Don't tell us
It
that.
went down again. It's going down, and that's good for the economy. That's good for the citizens, but it's bad for our interests. So we're gonna work and see if we can find something else we can invest in that might give us a little more yield, because that's not really our goal is not to make the money, it's to protect what we have.
Amen.
And if we make a little money on the side, then hey, we did good. All right, well, since Commissioner Cheshire ruined my surprise, I was worried we weren't gonna make $600,000. And so when I was looking at my November, I realized, I love to say this, I made a mistake. It makes me human, doesn't it? And I'm not perfect, but I realized I had made a mistake and I had pulled from the wrong spreadsheet the number, so I didn't pull forward the correct number to add to the number on the page. Well, anyway, it made for a great surprise when I found it. I was like, we did it. We broke $600,000. We made $616,000 with a little change, and I didn't do it by myself. The economy was there. I had the help with the auditor. We kind of put our heads together, and we decided that we might try some new things. We met with some people. I think we made some good decisions, and then we brought it to you. You guys made some good decisions. And first, I think that we're going to invest this coming up year, the majority of our things with First National Bank. Just as long as they're leading, we should put more of our eggs in that basket. Not all of them, just more, because they're giving us the best interest rate. And of course, we have Financial Northeastern, which we have not explored yet, so they may be promising as well. I wanted to let you know that the deposits of $3,724,000 was from the tax office. That was not us, so they are getting ready and they are gearing up, and I am almost positive that they are just hanging paper with one arm right now down there. So she's underway with her adventures, and I hope she collects every dime we can get. We did spend quite a bit of money last month. We were running to the end of the year. That whole $2,150,000 was not spent on payables and payroll. We moved $500,000 out of the waste management fund, and we moved it over to the trust fund we have over at Southside, because we had not made a deposit in that last year, and we wanted to do that. This is just an informal presentation. I promised you guys I would come this commissioner's court and tell you how we ended up the year. The next time, I'm gonna say the same exact thing and you have to sign it. So I'm just letting you know, this is just informal because I promised. Trying to keep my promises. I hear I'm supposed to do that. We spent a little bit more on payroll. I don't know why. Maybe it was some end of the year things. It says we did 1.9 million, and then in payables we did 2.8 million. Our sales tax was $523,000, which I was hoping it would be a little bit more. And of course, waste management, that number does not reflect the $500,000 that we put in there, because that's the number from September. We true that up every quarter. I do want to remind you that at the beginning of last year, we put $800,000 into the employee benefit fund. Janice and I met. We decided we would leave it there. We were going to pull it back out, but we were doing okay with the general fund. So we just left it where it was and kind of try to build up that principle with what we have. And if we need it this year, if we have a lot of medical claims, it's there, we can pull it back out. Any questions or comments?
You said sales tax was $523,000. Is it? You said that was down from last year? Is that?
It seemed like it was down a little bit. Last year, I wanna say it was maybe, gosh, I prepared this last week or the week before. I can't remember what it was the year before, but it seemed, I was hoping it'd be a little higher. It'd been a little higher earlier in the year. We like $560,000 is what I was hoping for. I always hope for $550,000, and when we don't get that, that disappoints me.
Thank you for the information.
But I'd like to commend you on the investment recommendations that you brought to the court, though, have been very good. They've been very good.
I did not do that in isolation. I had help from the county auditor. She asks very good questions. Our brains don't work exactly alike, so when we meet with somebody, I'll ask one kind of question, she asks another. So when we're done, we have a complete picture of what we might be looking at.
Good.
So
Good.
I always enjoy her input.
All right, gentlemen.
Motion to approve.
There's nothing to approve. You just say, hey, good job.
Yeah,
And
good
next
job.
time, you're gonna need to
Alright.
approve it. I just promised you gentlemen that I would do that this time. In the past, this past year, we haven't been able to get the bank reconciled, the bank statement reconciled in the timely manner that the auditor and I would love to have, but I think we've corrected the problem that we were having, and I think we're gonna have it done. And so when I do that's why I'm going to present the formal one next time, because what I give you gentlemen goes on the internet. And so I'm hoping that we have wonderful, just like a perfect report
Okay,
with the bank account being reconciled and all that going forward.
right.
It's
And
just,
that will actually go on the county website.
it goes on the
so-
county website. That's the only reason I was holding off on that,
Sure.
because I just feel like we can get like bank reconciled and all those numbers will be good.
That's right, that way. it
I'm just wanting to end the year off properly.
Very, very exposes everything to the public, which is what we want to do.
That's exactly what we want to do.
Exactly. Okay,
All right, gentlemen.
we have a motion to approve the report. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second?
We don't
Any
need-
more discussion?
There's no report to approve.
Yeah, we didn't.
Well-
This was just, I guess what we, just say that we
There's
heard
nothing to
it.
vote on.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know, Judge. We've
It was
never
a-
done this before.
It was a monthly treasurer's report for the month. We don't have to approve that. It was presented.
This is just part of the report. I know, when I make a promise, I really should think it
Hey,
through, shouldn't I?
That's fine. I think you did a good job. All
I'm
right.
gonna bring the real one next
Any
time.
further discussion?
Motion to approve.
All right. Do I have a second? Please, a second.
I second.
All right, a second. No more discussion needed, please. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Got one more for you. Item number 16, discussion action on budget transfer from Treasurer's Office. Transfer from contract services in the amount of $140 to printing and forms for $140.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 17, discussion action on budget transfer for election department. Budget 2019, transfer from office supplies an amount of $500 to telephone for $500.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, item number 18, discussion action on 2020 budget transfer from the Sheriff's Department, from contingency in the amount of $41,650 to capital outlay in the amount of $41,650. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Sheriff, how are you, the chief, doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Well, it came to our attention that we had to put in for this, you know, after the budget had already been
Right.
completed. We didn't know about this, probably last couple weeks of December maybe or so. Came to our attention, that for the radio to operate properly with the UHL, then we would have to have, this money to pay for licensing and also for some hardware and also the software that would go into the three consoles to make the radio, operate properly with the UHL. And so that's why we're here today to, ask for the money so we can pay for it.
Sure. A lot of this is going into the dispatch area.
Yes,
Console.
the dispatch consoles.
Right.
Yes, we have three consoles in dispatch, and this is for the software. The consoles will remain in place. We'll use the consoles we have.
Right.
This is to put software in the consoles that we currently have,
Okay.
that we wasn't aware of when the project started.
Right.
All this
Or
is
even
part
to-
of the new radio system that we're putting in.
This
to-
is part of the new radio
Make this
system.
so much more efficient
And
for,
without it, we can't
you
use it.
bet.
How
Motion
close
to-
are we? How close are we to having everything
I
done?
was told it was gonna be this month, is that?
Yeah. Real close,
Yeah, that's
real
why we got
close.
Randy here.
Yeah, the rain is going to affect it some because they're still climbing tires and moving some stuff around. But, we got rain predicted over the next week and a half, I guess, so that's probably gonna slow it down a little bit.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
All right. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jim. All right, item number 19, discussion action on budget transfer from County Court at Law 2 from the budget trial transcripts of $5,000 to office supplies for $5,000.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, item number 20, discussion action on budget transfer from county parks budget from park maintenance of $2,000 to utility telephone in the amount of $100 and utility electric in the amount of $1,900.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 21, discussion action on budget transfer from the auditor office, transfer from vehicle expense of $100 to office supplies $100.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 22, discussion action on budget transfer from Road and Bridge number 3, from culverts, $500 to hardtop roads in the amount of $300, and telephone in the amount of $200. Gentlemen?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 23, discussion action on a request from Road and Bridge number 4 for permission to sell 2 Great Alls and a 2007 International Day cab haul truck through Auctioneer Express online auction.
Gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to apologize to the court for not being here before Christmas. So on the 23rd, I was contagious, and I didn't want to ruin anybody's Christmas or New Year's. What we have is a Auctioneers Express contract for a one-time sale agreement. I'd like to propose that, we sign this one-time contract with the approvals that the county attorney has requested in the contract. I'm not sure who needs to sign it, either me or the judge, for this one-time agreement. At some future point in time, I would like for this court to entertain a discussion of doing a long-term agreement with Auctioneers Express, so we could get better rates and more options available to us. But, just for now, I request the court's approval on the one-time contract with the recommendations of a change in the contract that the county attorney has made.
Do we have a contract in place yet?
We do not have a contract in place. I'm just requesting this put
All right.
for the one-time use of the 2 Great Alls and the haul truck.
Motion to approve with what now?
The county attorney's recommendation of the changes in the wording on the contract, basically the same contract that, it
Mr.
will be the
Pitts
same
had?
contract that
Okay.
Terry had.
That had already been used.
That's already been
one time
used in the
before.
past. Be the one-time
All right.
agreement.
Counselor,
Look
if you
good.
would, please approach.
Commissioner, the court did a previous contract with the same company,
Uh-huh.
Commissioner Pitts, and we negotiated some changes in the language, and so I was recommending the same changes this time. That the company is not, I guess, approved those changes yet, but I'm
No.
assuming that they probably would. They approved them
Okay.
last time, so.
I motion to approve with the changes. Second.
Who needs to sign? Is it the judge or me or
It's
you
For
or
the county,
somebody?
so the county judge.
Authorize the
needs
judge
to
to
sign.
sign
Authorize the judge to sign
when
it.
those changes are made.
Yeah.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, John. All right, item number 24, consider any miscellaneous and routine items.
I think we have 2, one from JP 4, Rodney Cheshire, and tax assessor collector. Most approved of it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve both these items. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, yes. Okay, item number 25, consider approval and authorization for payment of the bills as submitted by the county auditor.
Motion,
Y'all did see there is a new one that's been added,
yeah, we saw it.
additional. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. All right, gentlemen.
Motion to pay the bill.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 26, recess or adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank goodness. We are adjourned. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.